How? How to not? How to not wish? How to not wish an end? How to not wish an end to all things? Inquire the coffee's milk skin for this image's glimmer. A set of twins uniformed in blue, two strange jays, their 4 hands shell a clutch of pea-sized eggs. Try to comprehend the violence of this place. A deer trail sliced tall reeds along the bank of a gagged creek. Gold light burned the leaf filth. Bark flaked in broad stains. How? How to not? How to not wish an end to all things? I have twice seen my name tattooed into the skin of a stranger. I have twice been torn a gash and drawn to spark. Now I speak low, quiet, and close to store-bought hyacinth's lurid blossom. Invite God visit me there. Offer a single grain of wild rice with pinched fingers on bent knee. Imagine if I provided this service to all beings. My heart quickens same as the soft gray paw tentatively extended. Why should any animal trust me? How? How to not? How to not wish an end to all things? Mother who didn't. My baby frailty was not enough to chain you to my body. Yellowed skin and eyes, my sudden blurted cry, the tear I made of you. Mother who didn't. Why'd you mix a big screwdriver in a thick robin's egg cup, gulp, then fall sleeping like a putrid angel to a tangled blanket in the den floor? I found you when I pecked open the door, slunk past your rumpled body and slurped the bitter juice. Who do you talk DOS to, bathed in RGB screens flicker? The computer's plastic shell is an off-white oyster. You say he's down the street, but now he's on the couch. I don't let you talk to me, mother who didn't. Why was this not the right place to land? Why let the babies run through you like chicks through the kill chute? Why did you slap me when I tried your perfume? Why is this all I remember? Mint and leather, I remember. Your chest, sun-spotted and tan with small gold chain dangling. How you must have held me there, loved me there sometimes. Mother who didn't. Take children to school, woke with phones under bed shout. Chalk-mouthed, limped the house, found us gone, garage agape, lunch money still on the counter where Dad had left it. You waited, on bent knee, in bathrobe, hand-wringing affront the bay window, our stomachs flipped, when you lunged headlong into the yard, then beat us your worst.
Diary entries of a lonely girl watching a bird in the park sing by itself at the top of a tree. A little fat robin sat on the edge of the slush and kind of ruffled his feathers a little, bird waving, and I kind of waved back with my hand still in my pocket, but mostly moving my elbow back and forth. Also waved to someone who used to mean a lot to me the other day from my car. Not sure if he saw my return wave. It was in response to the salute he handed me from his bike passing by. Not sure where he was going, but I've never really known that. Walking at night through the snow because I love winter and no one else does, but the dog walkers are out, and I'm petting these dogs and leaning down, whispering in their ears if they'd please like to come home with me instead. What do wild bunnies eat in the wintertime? It's completely okay to want to hold someone's hand walking, or hold mittens. I feel like that is way more meaningful. I sit at this spot on the corner that has the perfect view of my favorite house with all the windows on one side. Have I been walking long enough? A very rough interpretation of the female Aeneas. Little blue flowers are falling out of the sky, and settling down onto the crown of my head where they should be. My lips and hands are stained purple from eating the berries my own garden made. I want someone to travel a long way to visit me, to see me like this. It rained a little this morning, but I was still in bed, dreaming about giant killer ocean waves. I walked around the empty house naked, looking for soft spots, looking for places to hide if waves really did storm in, trying to practice being brave. Purple handprints marked the sheets both of us made the night before. Last night us, secretly high you and sober, love-happy me, had fun. Eating leftover Indian food and drinking cold coffee, alone again now. Training my mind to welcome singular numbers now. Encouraging the little blue flowers to take root and blossom more fully. I checked and it looked like my body will be fertile in 3 days or so. I guess everything is where it should be. I guess I know where I should go. Visit me if you feel the pull. Please don't if you don't. Watered down. Cars are flies buzzing around my brain until my legs go numb. They flicker past as I run from invisible attackers I think I see at night on the road behind my apartment. They are coming to get me, and sometimes I wish they would, so I wouldn't have to keep running. I wish I could be swallowed whole by a whale, and he would carry me to some desert island where I don't see someone else in place of myself. It is only me and the sandals I make out of palm fronds. Whales will rise out of the water every morning to sing me sad songs, and I won't think of anyone, just the way the waves take a little bit of the shore away, and how the seaweed looks tired, wrapped over my chest sideways, cross my heart, hope to die. I want sailors to cross out my island for maps with black feathered quills and write, "Dangerous waters, watch out." I want seamen to be warned about me, warning, this girl's too sensitive, warning, you won't find her worth it, warning, she always burns the toast.
Every Friday, I make pizza with my roommates. They like mushrooms, and I hadn't really thought about whether I like mushrooms. So one night, I took one bite and immediately felt sick, like that kind of sick that shuts everything off except the gag reflex. The mushroom was spongy on the inside and dry on the outside. I felt like I had bit into the pad on a dog paw. But in that moment, the sick feeling mapped my entire body, like being totally consumed reset my senses. When my perception came back, I felt clean and oriented and aware of myself as having my own experience. I spat the pizza out onto the plate, and my mind had a flash thought. Maybe this is how God manages deliverance. He uses people's unconscious choices like volunteer bias, like self-select salvation. So I thought, maybe I'd made some unwitting decision early on, such as hating mushrooms, and didn't notice God withdraw in response. I know not everyone wants to be saved, so God must know that too. Maybe he has drawn little invisible circles all around our lives, like I imagine he has a map of humanity. Abby glides her hand flat through the air as though she's unrolling a scroll on a ship, where he drew circles of various sizes. She extends her index finger and middle finger taut together, drawing tiny circles in the air. Abby's mother didn't know English when she immigrated from Panama to the United States and relied on gesture to communicate abstract ideas like distance, time, use, value, and question. And so unbeknownst to us, we move in and out of those little circles, these little zones of exclusion. Abby inherited her mother's layered way of expression, differentiating between the circles by spreading her fingers and continuing the round motion with her wrist. And everyone moves through the zones differently, like how some people can drink alcohol and get away with it. You never know when you enter a circle and when you get away. Arturo, the owner of this takeout place, has a reciprocal relationship with the local unkempt 20-nothings, a steady diet of otherwise fungible counterhelp and couriers who don't steal from the drawer, arrive the same way that Arturo opens, with a relative well-intentioned punctuality subject to weather, whim, and faulty alarms, and perform nominal tasks at a human rate and closing tasks with like Miracle Whip, smooth with some zip. All in exchange for healthy tips from the local lunch clientele and a humane paycheck, which they exchange for records, coffee, thrift finds, musical instruments, gas and tour money, used bicycles, cell phone bills for those who cut ties with their parents' plans, vegetarian burritos, bowling, beer, and rent for the makeshift use of a living room, closet, attic, or the inherited bedroom complete with milk crate shelves, roadside end tables, spray-painted walls, and a mattress to save them from the night floor. With one eye closed, the things and things grow like the coral of cultural inundation. With the other eye, though, the things flood every corner of their lives like a wash, perpetually alerting the youths to their contours like baptism. Arturo, a rooted vet of DC front stoops and dance floors, didn't believe in redemption. His vision of happiness derived from the world around us required belief in both good and these kids. To this end, he believed they needed more structures to test themselves against, and not so many slogans to lie in and eventually wield against one another. So, as a paternalistic social engineer, or a person with a sense of genealogy, he simply trusted them, but never told them that outright.
Destroying the unknown creates confusion. Wolves seem to have a prejudice that they do not belong in pens. When watched from out of sight, they do nothing or very little. They sit, walk about, faint at each other in spiritless adumbrations of dominance and submission, eat when food comes with no memory of having hunted, defecate shyly like dogs. There is no drama in captivity. Wolves don't howl and hurl themselves at the chain-link fence. Suspended from real action, the mind of this creature designed for constant engagement retracts, coiling not like a snake, but like an overwound spring. The adult wolves stand aside, wasting no energy, eyes sliding back and forth across the humans gathered now on the inside of the gate. They keep as much distance as possible, moving distinctly a little over and back to this spot or that, like knights in chess. They do not bark and snarl as captive feral dogs will. They watch and think. Reset North America to default settings. I want to be alive with or near the ever-diminishing wolf population in North America, but also feel that to some degree that vision is idealized/absurd/implanted. Could also understand via some unconscious collective memory/other non-scientific transfer of desire how I could want that. Feel this way about most of the options proffered by society. Currently viewing North America as an unkempt fuck of HTML/CSS coding. Reset North America to default settings. Pre-colonization, pre-capitalism, pre-dams theme now installed. All changes will be lost. All will not be saved. At the protests, we block intersections with our bodies, iterating the names of other bodies taken from this world via county-approved and supported arms. My neighbor in one of the cars we block gets out, fist bumps some friends, chants along, sways in the wind like a dandelion, smiling coyly/coolly. We part like a sea to allow an ambulance's pass. Someone else in a Honda who is crying, saying something about a daughter's birthday, distance, and not enough time. Someone following us dangling/waving Confederate flag hat out of white Chevrolet Lumina. A safe and civil city, a whitewashed and harrowing town. Reset North America to default settings. Have been thinking how everyone has their own scent and trying to document/memorize them. Aaron's Geo Metro brand automobile smelled like him. A mixture of his specifics, inherited/coded sweat glands, amalgam of diet, what he did recently, what he had done for a while, the things he did totalizing in this complex way. The way meat is wrapped in paper is something I find aesthetically pleasing. Deer shot with sniper rifle tacked to the bark of a birch could be called a similar process, more of an art installation really. A bear or murder of crows will view this as a free sample cart or loot the grocery store. Just had vision of war in the future. We are bombing each other's physical manifestations of the internet, the metal server boxes that took place of old-growth forests. Reset North America to default settings. The amount of conversations I have that involve sarcastic/absurd joking around in what I perceive as an attempt to pass through time without constantly considering inexorable loss, sadness, and ephemerality have been decreasing with time, which seems essentially good. It just feels like certain people are scrambling to invent new manifestations of stress/meaning, post-hunting/gathering, and other pre-societal group organizing styles. A world where you don't have to speak or interact with anyone to acquire food. The cop at Kroger was texting every time I went. I stole a Gatorade and blew him a kiss while leaving. Maybe civilization was a mistake, but I will admit I enjoy the shiny colors and dogs and you, love. Reset North America to default. But what is consciousness after? Aren't we all going to re-inhabit each other's empty container anyway? Aren't we all en route to becoming the same used-up atoms in some black hole light years from here at some point in time and space in the future, mucking about in an everyone nothingness, unable to be told apart finally/totally? Lament for the violence of history. Lament for subjectivity. Lament for having to feel you are not me. I am not me. Me are not we. Lament for the ego which keeps and kills one and the same. I, you, me, them, they, us, we. I, you, me, them, they, us, we. I, you, me, them, they, us, we. I stared at the oak tree and it was never there. The skyscrapers rose on the horizon and I saw not a tooth save the empty slab of hallowed earth that had always been and always will, till the sun does open its burning maw upon the planet we find our species on and swallows us back. Reset North America to default settings. No way to go back or forward or anywhere else. Stay here, hold my hand, my friend, love. Do not be afraid. You can foresee the future and you are here in this now. You can wish back for a past and you are here in this now. I've been meaning to say this in a poem. This is real. You are here in this now.
Abscond the mind of minuscule things. Interpersonal mumblings of could, would, will never be again. A decision not to indict 2 white police officers, another and another decision in the shooting of pupils of black. A child's eyes open and clear, but ever increasing in gray. Place mine toward a singular object. Fixate in order to ease when unable to refrain thoughts of you with another. I failed to express care out of fear. Will continue to lose everything of love and value when unable to express care out of fear. Mind is stuck
cannot think beyond. Red bird or drop of blood in snow, still mourning, loss. Tragedies repeating destructive patterns, changing roles, empathy or Molotov cocktails shot into the sternum of society. Authority teaches shame by shaming. Guilt as a concrete form imposed. Guilt a strike. Shame a movement through. Boundaries fumbling to obtain, restrict, indulge. The racing speed of time, better numb. I scream, I scream, I scream. Cherry cop. Wild-eyed maniacs with violent histories, or all women are deemed mad. How could you not be? Who is responsible? How could you not be? Halvesies. Dripping from ceiling, condensation on the kettle as it steeps. Hold hand against as it warms, plugged into wall, as easy as plugging into wall. It burns, did not notice. Love is not an emotion. Have had reoccurring dreams of walking through a field of corn dried on stalks to an opening, friends in wooden bleachers. I walk to a circle of grass, in front of, turn back against, the faces silent, scream, throw arms to my side, up and down in violent way, a tantrum of sorts. Body against ground, make sounds, rolling in horrified, withering way, lay belly against moist dirt, dig hole, forehead, with fingers, face leaking into place. And the bleacher of humans past and now rest watching. This as a sort of performance of the psyche, resistance to aging, or those deemed close are watching at a distance, and I am at a holy distance. That is my conditioned perception of strength. Will care at a distance, feel safe, will communicate at a distance, muddled clods of drying. Feel the weight of performance. I am now, you are silently watching. Too much work and not enough time, a show choir sings as a pop song with choreographed moves, sweeping, sequined bow ties. At punk show, in basement of friend's home, I see sequined bow ties, blink, blink, still there. Pathologize the symptoms of being socially awkward or claiming selves to be as not listening to internals, avoiding direct dialogue, exhaustion combated by swimming in the dissociated mass. It only gets worse from here. Do not look at your confusing body parts. I will confuse you. Because you confuse you. External in conflict with internal, internal in conflict with a poor judgment is not something to cling to. You do not define I. We'll work 7 times 7. We'll spend time with people. We'll not talk about work. We'll have hard time talking. We'll say things do not truly mean. We'll not understand meaning. Movements habitualized towards serving, accommodating my conditioned response as woman, as worker. The coffee cup on table has a dried ring inside, marking the permeable membrane from days before. The evaporated murky brown has sunk lower. Today another level, transformed, but seen where once was. Can name patterns in my past, feel angry from injustice in the world. My internals will tell those around about anger and desire for change. We'll do it again and again. Because I am not ready, or I am still stuck in the cycling battle of naming something, or it is not my something, and I do not understand why fully my body responds to that person and not another. Some are angry because such actions seem contradictory. My actions are contradictory. Sometimes I feel anger at this inconsistency. Not certain consistency can be achieved, will move at my own pace, cannot rush into, without negating steps before. Be gentle with me. I am you. Love is not an emotion. We are trying our best is a false claim. Best is abstractly undefined. Trying is an action always to fluctuate. When phone says snooze, I read a void. Trying at best to be an awake and good human being. You are.
To the quick-footed fawn who would not stop, I saw you. I would have turned my headlights off, but it was dark, and I was on my way to work. But I stopped, saw you get scared, tug and pull off, run after your mother as she left. I wanted to catch you, but how could I? Of course, you are not my son. Do not tell me that as I call out to you. Go to sleep and don't you cry. Papa's gonna get you some apple pie. Come up, horsey, hey, hey. Come up, horsey, hey, hey.
Thank you.